Hello again, Chris here from Chrscraft, bringing you the third game in this series between WhiteRa and IdrA in the ASUS ROG Stars Invitational round of 4. IdrA currently up 2-0 after his wins on the Shattered Temple and Tal'Darim Altar against WhiteRa. The first game picking WhiteRa apart with Mutilus Harass, and in the second game a nice Roach Hydra push after WhiteRa went Stargate and not having sufficient Colossi to deal with that push. So here we are on Antigua's Shipyard. This is the version with the gold minerals in the center, and it forces cross positions. So interesting tidbit there. As we can see, the cross positions mean that they know where each other are. Currently, this pylon going down here for WhiteRa, we will see a Forge Fast expand as always. This map particularly good for it, as this natural here is the ramp is quite nice to defend with cannons and building wall offs. Not sure what we'll see from IdrA. Third base is quite easy to take. You spread creep out to here, and then obviously the only risk is from these back rocks, but that will take a while to break through. Third base here is fairly easy to defend, especially with the mobility of the Zerg army, especially Mutalisks if he decides to go Mutalisks. This pull on 14th supply from IdrA, a bit later than we've seen in the previous games, so that's certainly interesting. I think we might be seeing a Nexus first from WhiteRa, or perhaps his incredibly late Forge. Here we go, quite late Forge from WhiteRa, and I'm not sure where we'll see him drop the pylon. We haven't in previous games. Nope, no second pylon. Oh, pylon in the natural of IdrA, as he does. This will allow him to produce some probes, funnily, while IdrA has also been forced off mining for quite a while and delaying this expansion. At this rate, WhiteRa should get this expansion down before IdrA, especially as he's going to force some Zerglings here. A pair of 2 Zerglings and a Nexus for WhiteRa, and we'll still see a cannon and a gateway to almost finish all this wall off. We'll see another pylon and a cybernetics core / gateway here. WhiteRa is a bit ahead on this Nexus, but only by 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Ooh, that's interesting. Deciding to take it here instead because of this pylon block. I assume he will cement this by killing this pylon and then taking an incredibly fast third. These Zerglings are going to chase this probe out, but the damage has already been done. WhiteRa scouted this. WhiteRa isn't going to be able to do anything like a cannon rush. He doesn't have the minerals, and these Zerglings will easily clean that probe up. WhiteRa going to start work on this pylon, and I think he will plant a third base really quickly by about the 5-minute mark. And what will be interesting is WhiteRa's response. WhiteRa known for on Antigua's Shipyard going for very fast thirds if his opponent also takes this fast third. We're going to see there we go, 4 minutes 40 third base from IdrA. Well, I guess that's kind of the natural expansion, but both expansions up the second bases for both players. WhiteRa ahead economically, obviously dropping this 300 mineral hatchery here doesn't leave IdrA with many minerals for spending on drones, and also these 4 Zerglings required to deal with this pylon. This wall off is pretty much complete here. Cybernetics core going down, and a Zealot will fill that space there, stopping any Zergling run-bys. Now, I wonder whether we're going to see a fast third from WhiteRa or some sort of tech. 2 gas for WhiteRa. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a third and then tech. Robo would be particularly effective here. With warp prisms. WhiteRa known for his special tactics, and warp prisms are no exception to that. Oh no, we're seeing a Stargate play again from WhiteRa. Could be effective. The Evo chamber is nowhere near coming up. Not even built yet. And these queens are going to be very spread apart, and this creep hasn't connected yet. So a bit of Void Ray and Phoenix Harass could be quite effective on these bases. Warp gate for WhiteRa obviously delayed because of this tech here, and because of the Forge Fast expand and the gateway and the cybernetics core being much later. WhiteRa looking in a fairly good position defensively at the moment. Obviously IdrA not having any Roach Warren currently, and even if he did, he would have Phoenixes and Void Rays. Phoenix going for first from WhiteRa. This is different from the previous games in which he's got quite a lot of Void Rays before. 2 gas for IdrA, a Roach Warren, and researching speed here. Speed's quite late, but it has been noted in previous games that IdrA has got his speed quite late. I think we'll see a lair soon, and him going Roach HYDRA again. Here we go, missile attack level 1 from IdrA. So I assume we'll see lair into the range upgrade for Hydralisks. Groove Spines? Not sure what it's called. And there we go, there's the lair going down. 2 gas is particularly indicative of that. The Roach Warren currently up, so I'm not sure whether we'll see some Roaches immediately, but I think we're definitely going to see in total a Roach Hydralisk mix. No third expansion from WhiteRa yet. Obviously wanting to go down the tech route with these Phoenixes. Hasn't revealed these Phoenixes yet, so I'll be interested in what he's planning on doing with them. Maybe he's expecting Mutalisk, and if he is, he's going to be sorely disappointed. Phoenix is notably not very good against any number of Hydralisks greater than the number of Phoenixes you have, because obviously you can lift them and pick them off. But in small numbers, Phoenixes will kill Hydralisks. They will, pick a Hydralisk up, pick it off, pick another Hydralisk up, pick it off, taking minimal damage. But with any number of Hydralisks, more than 1 or 2, then we'll see some problems here. A 5th gas coming up for IdrA here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. Picking off this queen with these Phoenixes. Where did the other Phoenix go? Did it get picked off? I don't know. Queen going down there, and 2 Spore Crawlers going into the bases here. That's 5 Spore Crawlers total. Obviously wanted to get out before these Spore Crawlers finish, but he's definitely going to take this queen out. And there we go. 4 Phoenixes being a good count for the number that you need to pick up a queen in 1 Graviton beam. That's 3 queens gone down for IdrA. That's going to hurt his economy. And these Overlords aren't looking too right either. But Spore Crawler here, so these Overlords should be fairly safe in this. No real problem there. And Robo, again, at 10 minutes earlier than the game on Tal'Darim. Obviously sees, I would imagine that his opponent's going Roach Hydralisk. Or perhaps just Roach. I don't see a Hydralisk Den yet. I see Roach speed, but I don't see a Hydralisk Den. Pure Roach. That's interesting. Just do get a lot of Roaches and just rush with them. 3rd base from WhiteRa. I don't know whether he'll be able to defend this. A load of Roaches being cleaned up here, but oh no, Hydralisk going down. 40-second build on Hydralisk Den. So it's not vital to get it immediately, although I probably would have got it before. The range upgrade, it doesn't take that long, but better to have it than not. Actually means that the Roach Hydra composition works because you can put the Roaches in front. Warp Prism from WhiteRa, of course, and a 4th base of the gold for IdrA. IdrA behind on supply quite a lot. That's kind of unexpected at this stage. Colossi coming out from WhiteRa soon with the robotics bay. This 4th base might be quite hard to defend with this Colossi coming out, and especially with these Phoenixes and this Warp Prism. WhiteRa having quite a lot of harass capabilities, especially with 5 Warp Gates coming up. So that's going to be quite a lot of warp-ins. There we go, 5 Zealots there, hop in there, and then travel to a magical adventure that is killing all the probes in IdrA's base. Goose Spines, doesn't take that long, but a reasonable amount. 13 Hydralisks currently out for IdrA, and no Colossus from WhiteRa yet, so a push before the Colossus hits critical mass could be particularly effective. I wonder if we'll see the use of creep like we did in the game in Tal'Darim Altar. Shattered Temple, sorry, with the Hydralisks utilising the creep to be able to actually micro. Hydralisks are very slow off creep. So using Overlords to spout creep, say, along here, does leave the Overlords to being picked off if you leave them, or you lose the fight. But it's pretty good. I mean, obviously, it means that you can move back from zealots attacking you rather than just getting sliced into tiny little pieces, which Hydralists usually do. +2 Zerg missile attacks and ventral sacks. Ooh, this would be bad. I'm thinking that IdrA is just going to go, right, okay, you've got a nice army there. What if I just drop 30 Hydralisks in your base? So that could be the approach that IdrA is going for. Ventral sacks, obviously, Overlord capacity, and a Spire. That's interesting. I don't think we'll see Mutilisks, although he is currently banking quite a lot of gas, so later Mutilisk than usually seen. +2 Protoss ground weapon, so that's going to make this death ball quite effective, especially with 2 more Colossi coming out to add to this count of 2. 4 Colossi total is pretty effective, especially this army from IdrA that's quite a lot of Hydralisks in it, and 80 health. I mean, Colossi do 15 times 2, 11 times 2, that's a Stalker. 17 with the +1, range 9 with 2 attacks with the 2 beams. So a Hydralisk in the middle of the 2 beams will take 32 damage, 34 damage from this. What armor has he got? None! So yes, 34 damage from this too. So it only takes 2 and a bit Colossus hits from these Colossus to kill a Hydralisk. Which obviously isn't very good. Ooh, WhiteRa coming in with a Warp Prism and sniping off that Queen. It's a good choice. Queen obviously regulating how many injects this base gets, and until that is replaced, it won't be, because he doesn't have the supply. He's nearly supply capped, and a couple of Overlords being picked off from by WhiteRa here. Colossi very good at besieging places like this. Their range of 9 is particularly effective at picking off hatcheries like this, but these caught out of position there. WhiteRa is. We'll see some force fields go down here, and these Colossi are not in a good place. They're getting target fired by these roaches and Hydras pretty effectively. I think WhiteRa's going to lose this engagement. I mean, even if he kills all these units, IdrA's in a better position in terms of tech and producing 23 roaches with the 200 food push. Why not? These Colossi dying very, very fast to this number of Corruptors. These Corruptors need to back off before they get destroyed, after spewing horrible corruption over everything then. So WhiteRa probably coming out ahead in that engagement, but overall, I mean, IdrA's ahead on supply, and also ahead on army supply, but behind on worker supply. So I mean, IdrA can just continue to pump these Roach Hydras. I mean, he has so much income currently. It's about the same, but Roach is obviously noted for being very cheap. And Hydralisk's not massively cheap, but cheaper than Colossus or Stalkers, certainly. And Zealots not so much. WhiteRa looking like he wants to take this expansion here. WhiteRa not managing to take out this hatchery. 104 health, that's somewhat irritating. Building an Immortal. Not so effective as we've seen in the previous game. They just tend to get picked off, but in army fights which are more equal, I wonder what we'll see. Ooh, Colossi moving out to do some damage to these roaches. IdrA's going to have to move them back. No way he should engage them on their own, even though they are on their own, so maybe he could get a couple of hits off with Corruptors. Immediately taking these 2 gases. Not sure if I agree with this. IdrA's going to be able to harass this quite effectively with, say, these burrowed roaches, or just Hydralisk up on the high ground. Yeah, here we go. Hydralisk coming down and shooting things, as they do. Needle, 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 needle. And he can just back off. And these Zealots can't do much about this little bit of Hydralisk pressure here. This next is not quite up yet, an infestation pit, so we're going to see hive tech fairly soon, or maybe he'll just incorporate some infestors into his army. I wouldn't be surprised if he changes these Rune Lords, but we have a bit of an engagement here. Quite a lot of damage going down from these Colossi. You see this front line of roaches is pretty much evaporated, but to 10 Hydras and 13 roaches in production from IdrA, remaxing pretty much instantly, even though after some pretty brutal losses, and that equal currently on units lost. But IdrA obviously having the quite a lot of lava, so he's going to be able to remax after these engagements. Even if they, even if he trades, he can still build an army bigger. Oh, this Colossi on very low health. Looks like it's going to survive. No, there it goes. See, massive damage going for those Colossi, and now they're gone. The main splash damage is gone for this army. There's no more splash damage. And the Stalkers are good, but they're not that good. I assume we'll see more Colossi coming from WhiteRa. No, we won't. This is an interesting choice. There is a small Hydralisk drop into the main, picking off that Nexus. It'd be somewhat embarrassing if that Nexus goes down to this 3 Hydralisks in the main. No, it looks like it's going to. No Colossi, 1 Colossi coming up for WhiteRa, but that's not going to be out anywhere near now. 5 Zealots walking in to deal with these Hydralisks, killing 1, and there we go, and they get away. No Stalkers in that small composition there, so they can just sit in that Overlord and be happy. Engagement in the centre here. Stalkers just die to Hydralisks. I mean, there's so much raw DPS from those Hydralisks. With +2, 14 damage a shot. And WhiteRa is pretty well upgraded, but obviously not so much that he can survive that. And Roach is coming in and trying to focus down this Nexus. Nope, there we go. And being sniped off there. Small number of losses, but 9 Hydralisks in production for IdrA. Do we see tech from IdrA yet? No, currently still at lair with Infester thing there, and no sign of Pathing Glands, so probably not going to be adding Infestors into this army anytime soon, but I don't think he's going to need to. This push could just well out kill it. WhiteRa here, and especially with these 20 Roaches in production. Roaches pretty quick at building, and going to be able to reinforce this. These Stalkers melting, but these Hydralisks going down pretty quickly as too, with a warp in here, and Idra's going to have to back off. Well played there for WhiteRa, but WhiteRa's losing a lot of stuff. WhiteRa now behind on probes. He was ahead for most of the game after this little bit of Hydralisk pressure, picking off a few probes here. I haven't seen any pressure anywhere else, but ooh, having to move these probes to this gold. This is close to being mined out, so this gold, he has to hold this gold base. He needs to throw everything it has at holding this gold base. So if he doesn't, he's out. I mean, there are not that much minerals down here to left to mine. And another engagement here. Colossi going down. Oh no, but definitely having to back off, and the Nexus goes down. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see a very prompt GG from WhiteRa. 1 Colossus and 9 Stalkers and 4 Sentries from WhiteRa. That's just not going to hold against an IdrA who has 34 Roaches with just more streaming across the map as fast as WhiteRa can respond. IdrA with a double WhiteRa supply here. Almost double WhiteRa supply here. And taking another base. Just taunting a little bit. And this is very nearly mined out. Really not that many minerals there at all, and these probes aren't going to have anything to mine. Can long distance mine this gold, but they'll be not producing very much. 2 more Colossi. It would look like WhiteRa is going to go for a final push. If this fails, then he's out of here. Currently 2-0 down against IdrA in the ASUS ROG Invitational round of 4. And this really isn't looking good for WhiteRa. IdrA has just outplayed him in all 3 games. And here we go, here's the push from WhiteRa, the nice creep spread here, giving him a bit of maneuverability. And no Nexus. I don't think he has the money for the Nexus. No, he's currently long distance mining from the gold gas, and this is all out now. So this is pretty much all that WhiteRa's gonna have for the entire game. On the other hand, I mean, IdrA taking a hive and getting more bases than possible. It just isn't looking good for WhiteRa. He sat here, and that's gonna have 4 Colossus, which is, quite effective. But no money to replenish with, and even if WhiteRa comes along and kills this entire army, it's unlikely. These Corruptors are just going to kill those Colossi, and kills them and takes no losses. IdrA's going to be remaxed in seconds. He'll just build Roaches, Hydras, just queue them all up with all this lava he has saved up. If if you look at like this main, that's 10 lava there, and lava scattered all around the map. Just ASUS, and he'll just win. Long distance mining from this gold, obviously not producing very much. WhiteRa producing 28 minerals a minute, and here's the final engagement. Those colossi melting under this, and these force fields are quite nice actually, but not going to be enough to save this massively inferior army. 14 roaches being produced by IdrA, maxing out immediately as the damage is going, and there's the GG, well played from WhiteRa. So that is WhiteRa 3-0 down in the ASUS ROG Stars Invitational Tournament, round of 4. So IdrA went into the finals. I may cover more of this. Actually, this was incredibly interesting to watch when it was on. I didn't actually watch this match in particular, but I have been using the replay pack, which I provide a link to, actually, if you're interested, to practice casting to myself. So you may see the finals, which obviously will have IdrA in it, but apart from that, I have no idea who. Anyway, thank you for watching. Any constructive criticism or comments can be left in the comment section, and subscribe if you want. I don't know, I'm a new channel. I have Twitter, at Chrscraft, also in the description. This description is going to be huge by the end of this video, and good luck, have fun.